Hello everybody and welcome back. So this is the effect that we are aiming to do and we're going to continue with that. So I just wanted to start off showing it. And we are jumping back to the scene we left off, and this is where we left off in the last one. So now we need to work with some stuff here. So first off, I want to set the size. So here we do set size, and I'm just doing it to kind of visualize so we have the correct size. So one thing that I haven't really put my effort to figure out, but you see there is some gap here. You see it's some space between them. I tend to not use, let's see, I tend to not use this box here. I do it myself, and I'm just gonna copy and paste this setup to show you. So this setup here is doing this part for us. So either you just skip doing this part, I'm going to explain it, and you go with this node. It's kind of easy, or you follow along here really quick. I'm just going to explain it and not do it. So here is the resolution, and this is the particle ID. Because we have 1000 particles, they have IDs, and if you do modulo, you can kind of divide. So when it goes up to 10, it goes back to 0. And so this is kind of the X direction that you work on. So then so for each particle, you modulo with the resolution. So in this scenario, it's 8 here. And then you fix the X position, and then you actually do the same here. Let's see. So we have the resolution here, and this particle is actually divided with the resolution here. And the reason I do it 8 by 8, so it's 64, is because each plane is 64 pieces. So we can't move upwards in I before we filled all the first layer. So that's why this one is 64, and I floor it, and then I just in this one, this is supposed to be here. So we have the particle ID, and then we divide with the resolution, and then I modulo it, and I do the Z direction, and then I actually subtract the here we have 8, but multiply with this, it's only 4, and then I subtract it, and then I kind of set position. So what I do with this, I kind of move it back to the center, because otherwise I do from 0 to 8, but now I do from -4 to 4. So if we do set position here, I'm just going to show you, it's much more easier to control. And let's see the scene, because now you see they are super aligned with each other. So let's see, why is it like this? So I'm gonna pause and figure it out really quick. Okay, so because I copied this system in from another system, the resolution property actually made a new one, so it's not really aligned. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make sure we have our resolution that we made. So I'm gonna make this here, this one here, this one too. And also remove that one here. So now you can see if you hover over here, this one is not. So this should work out. Let's see. And now it is as it should be. So that's why I do it myself, because I find it easier to control. So if you want to do this system, you can do. Otherwise, you just do this block. It's a little bit easier for beginners, I guess. So now we're gonna work in this update. And what we want to do, we want to make a distance like this, distance vector, this one. So we're gonna get position. So we're gonna get the position of each particle, and we're gonna, in this case, let's do 4, 4, 4. So this is gonna be a corner in our setup. Actually, if we do 5, because the resolution is 10. So if we do 5, 5, 5, this is gonna be the corner. And then if we do set size, well, yeah, this is gonna be, no, actually we're gonna do, I think it's better if we do it, let's see, what's the best way to do this? Okay, we're gonna do it like this. This is gonna be fine. We're gonna make a remap instead, that's better. So if we do a remap, what we wanna do, we wanna measure a distance. So each particle will take their current position and do the distance to this position. And the distance is going to be between, I don't know, 13 and 0. And so you see here, I guess, let's see, you see xi, x, zi, so it's going to be this corner, that's 5, 5, 5. So when this box measure from here, it's going to be like really short. And this box down here gonna measure the distance to up here. It's going to be really far. So in order, I'm going to solve this to do clamp. So if the range is 0, then it's going to be, let's do 1. So if it's 0 distance, the value out going to be 0. But if the distance is 1 or more, the output going to be 1. And if the distance is even longer, like 10 units, it's still going to be 1 because we have clamped it over here. So if we do set size here, we're going to see like this. Okay, so we need to do, let's do, if we can do up until 5, that's going to be fine. So now you see, when it's really close, it's 0, or no one is at 0, so no one will be 0 actually. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this one, it's going to be like close to 1 or even 1 in the size. So this is how we do the size. And where am I? Here. So what we can do now instead, we can actually make it animate. And the way to do this is pretty straightforward. We just need the time. So we're going to get the VFX time. So we have the time here. We're going to do max. And I'm going to do a multiply like this. And the reason is because I want to be able to control the speed. So we could actually do just properties here. So we do the float, we do a speed. And we can do that to a range to 0 to 4. And we're going to do the initial speed to 1. So we can control the speed later. And now, if you just do cosine and sine, And if we just make a vector free out of this one, so let's say we only want it, cosine will go from 0 up to 1 and down to 0.1. It will bounce between -1 and 1. The same with sine. They are just offset. And because of that, we're going to have them creating a circle for us. And I'm not going to put it in I. I'm actually put it in Z, because we want it to be a circle going on the XZ plane. And I'm just going to move this one up to 4. So it's going to be in the 4 position doing a circle. And instead now, if we do like this and save. Now you see it's kind of going in a circle around. And we can do the speed a little bit faster. So now you see. And yeah. So we're starting to get there, and I'm actually think I'm gonna, yeah, that's nice. So also what's happening is that this vector, if we do this to 0, this will never be bigger than 1. So this circle is always the amount of as a 1 unit circle in the radius. So it will the circle will be a maximum 2 units wide. And if we want it bigger, we just do a multiply like this. So now it will be 4 in the diameter. And this can be, let's see, yeah, this is 6. So if we plug in this one and check that one out, now you see it's further out. And why I do this is because I want here be able to add the I direction without being multiplied. So if we do like this and change this to a vector 3, 2, now we can change this one up a bit like this. Cool. And now we're actually going to do the same thing. So it's bugging a little bit here, but that's okay. So I'm going to take this part here. And I'm actually just going to flip these two like this. And then I'm going to do this one negative instead. So the next, so now we're doing the same effect up here, but we're actually doing yet another one down here. They're going the other circle away. And what we need to do, if we're measuring the distance between 2 positions, but let's say if we want to measure even more, another position we want to measure with 2 positions, then we just do a minimum of these 2 values and add them like this. And now we can measure 2 positions. So now you see, you're starting to get this really cool effect. So awesome, isn't it? So I'm actually gonna pause here in this tutorial, and this is what we did. We took the time and added speed, and we make something going around in a circle with this cosine and sine. And then we just do the circle bigger with the multiply, and then we offset the circle in the I direction here. And then we do actually the same thing here. So this one is going a little bit lower down, and I'm just offsetting it here to make it go the other direction. And then if we just use minimum, then of the distance and distance node, then we can measure from 2 places. So in the next one, we kind of gonna make everything done and finished. So we're gonna create much better scaling and put some color and do some post-processing to make it look really good. So thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial.